Whether it's tearing it up at comedy clubs across the country, roasting big-name celebrities like Alec Baldwin and Bruce Willis on Comedy Central, or pulling no punches on her SiriusXM radio show You Up, wherever Nikki Glaser goes, hysterical laughter is sure to follow. Now she's pushing the envelope even further with her hilarious comedy special, Bangin, currently trending on Netflix. Take a look.
I have been fingered when I'm dry so many times this year. It is truly an act of terrorism. I was an ugly child. People would tell my mom that my sister should be a model, like, right in front of me. And they wouldn't see me at first, and then I'd emerge from behind my mom's legs like Nosferatu, like, what should I be? Do you remember the first time you found out about blowjobs? Sex made sense because it makes kids. What do blowjobs make, you know? Then you find out careers. Pro tip. I never could squirt, and I wanted to because I think it's such a cool power move to just dump a quart of water on a guy's bed and be like, peace, and just like, catch you on the flip, dude.
Please welcome Nikki Glaser, everybody.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me, Brian.
It is so exciting to see you, to have you here. This special is hilarious.
Thank you. Can I do a tag to that joke that you saw that I wrote the weekend after I taped my special? And I was like, damn it! So I dump a quart of water on a guy's bed. I go, catch you on the flip, because you're gonna have to flip that mattress. And I was like, the mattress flip line would have been so good. And you know what? I really struggle with that as a performer, where I never feel like it's good enough. And I tape a special and I go, why didn't I say it that way? But what I just learned is I didn't say it that way so that I could say it here and have a great little intro
There
to
we
my
go.
beat.
I love it.
I got an extra joke. You get a bonus joke for watching this.
Is it wild? Because being a comic, even getting in a club to do a 5-minute set, if you're starting out, seems like an impossible feat. To see yourself on a billboard, as we did, I saw you on a billboard in Times Square. To see you
in a billboard. It was rotated every 30 seconds, but for 30 seconds in Times Square, every 4 to 5 minutes, that was my moment.
I would hang out there like the naked cowboy. I'd be like, see, I'm gonna stick around here and watch.
I went with friends to see it for the first time, which was really like fun, just like a nice memory in my life. And then the second time I just wandered through by myself, and then I just jumped around and was like, it's me! It's me! And the funny thing is, it is so unremarkable to have a billboard in Times Square. Just let me prove my point. There was a girl that was also filming her billboard right behind me, and I ended up, she didn't even know that I had a billboard. I didn't know she had a billboard. I didn't find out till later in the day. I was behind her in her story going like, my billboard, and I'm in the background going like, my billboard's coming up soon, guys. And it's like, that's how pedestrian it now is to have a billboard in Times Square.
Yeah, speak for yourself as someone who does not. But I saw it in your stories. Your Insta stories are hilarious.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're
Thank
so
you.
fun. Okay, now, which begs the question.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people in their lives here, you should do comedy. Were you always on, like always funny? I don't like the expression on, but were you always cracking people up from an early age?
No, I wasn't. I mean, I had a quick wit that I think was pointed out by my parents of like, that's a clever thing to say. And like, yeah, it's a smart, never thought about it that way. Like I remember my earliest joke was that my Aunt Lynn hated ants. Like they were like ants infesting my grandma's kitchen. She was like, I hate ants. It's just my thing. And I'm like, but you are an ant. Right. So like, and my parents were like, did you hear what Nikki said? And I was just like, what? That's not that, like, even then I was like, that's not that good of a joke. Like, why are we making a big fuss about it? But there were things like that where I'd be kind of encouraged, positively reinforced for like my thinking patterns.
Right.
But then I also had a really dark side to me that wasn't even funny. It was just like, why would you say that? So I always towed the line of like, should I say this? Is this gonna get a laugh, or is this gonna make my parents worried that I need to talk to a counselor?
Right.
And I think my stand-up is actually that a lot of times, where it's like that. I'm still struggling with those two things, and I've learned now which ones make people laugh, though.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you say something, and you're like, isn't it weird when you do this thing, and everyone's like, we don't do that thing, and then you go, okay, I'll never say that again. I'll keep that one for my therapist. Right.
Well, there's always been this theory like you only feel as good as your last show or your last joke. Because I see you all over the country all the time. You're everywhere. And say you have like, because sometimes it's not you, it's the audience. Like, so I will be honest, like sometimes it's just like a date and sometimes the chemistry isn't right.
Right.
How do you feel after a show? Do you always feel pretty good, or do you just kind of brush it off?
Honestly,
how do you deal with that?
I don't really have. I don't bomb anymore. It just isn't a thing that is happening in my life.
What a wonderful thing to be able to say.
Yeah, and it is. I'm happy, and it's only by virtue of the fact that people come out now to see me, and so they're excited to see me. I get kind of leniency there.
They know who you are. They know what to expect a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm also really good. You know, like, and if I do it compulsively, and it's not even about the love of the game anymore as much as it's like I'm addicted to doing stand-up and to working. So I always say I say I'm really good, but I'm not bragging. I'm just like, I just work really hard.
Right.
And that's not a brag either, because it's kind of interfering with everything else in my life. Like, I'm addicted to doing stand-up. Therefore, I'm really good at it. Therefore, I get more opportunities to do it. But I will say that bombing, I was reliving some of those moments today. I have a show on Sirius XM every morning. I talk for 2 hours with my comedian friends called You Up. It's on Comedy Central Radio, Channel 95. If you have Sirius or a rental car, check it out. And but I also have a podcast of the show called You Up that you can get for free. But it's the You Up podcast. But we were talking about that today, like, of bombing stories. And there's been some times where the crowd is just like happy to see you leave. Like, early on, you have to persevere past not only doing not well and everyone feels sorry for you, but them actively like hating you. And there were times I cried on the phone to my mom and was like, I'm gonna quit. And she's like, you should. And go be an English teacher, something that makes me feel safe and so I can sleep at night. But it's on saying what you said earlier about, like, wow, look at what you have, a Times Square billboard and a special on Netflix. Like, I honestly, it's so great for me right now because all of my dreams truly have come true. I don't know if I didn't shoot high enough, but I think I shot pretty high. Like, being on the Conan O'Brien show regularly, whatever iteration of that it is. I grew up watching Late Night with Conan O'Brien, so to be on Conan consistently and is I can't even believe that happened. Howard Stern, I got to be on that. That was another one of my goals. I'm on the Tonight Show a lot. Like, I've achieved everything.
Yeah.
Special on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like, it's all going great, and it feels, I don't let it in a lot. So it's nice for me to hang out with you because we know each other personally. You've been on my show and you are always very excited for me. And like,
I really am. I'm like, look at her now. I'm like, look, I
Yeah.
really do feel genuine.
Yeah.
And that's what's
it's
sometimes
good here because I don't ever take it in.
Right.
So
And
thank you.
sometimes you don't always feel that no matter what line of work you're in, you don't always feel like people are rooting for you.
Yes.
But I am genuinely rooting for you. And I want to,
one more thing, because it just sounds like I bragged about killing it so hard. I just want to say that those things, because I'm killing it so hard. And it's only going up from here. It will be taken down at some point. Like, I will be not famous, but I'm on the way up right now. It's undeniable. It's just kind of the way it's happening. But it will be all taken away from me. And so I don't take any of it for granted. And I'm a nihilist, I know, but that's just the way Hollywood works.
I love it. Well, it's a self-awareness.
I will be out of favor. But what I will say is that it's nice knowing that everything's going great for me, and I still struggle with depression, with thoughts of what am I doing? I'm worthless. Like, the bad thoughts that I thought would be cured by achieving my dreams that I have had since high school. I always knew that I was going to have these things. I just kind of knew it, and I got it. And I will say that achieving those things doesn't bring me happiness. It's happy, but I could live without it. I could do this or not do this, and I'd be fine.
Really?
It's nice
What
to know
would
that
you do?
because-
What else would you
because
do?
I don't feel the highs anymore.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's not spurring me. What I feel the highs from now is making things that make people change the way they think and making girls feel understood. Like, now I'm getting into some of the stuff that isn't just like showy. Like, look who I've met and look what I've been on. It's more like girls like shaking and crying when they meet me because they also have struggled with the thing that I'm struggling with in that very same moment. Like, I haven't overcome it, but that's been really profound. So I'm kind of more maybe leaning into that. But I also can't help a good dick joke. So those are not going to stop anytime soon.
Right.
I just want to have sex again so I can talk. Like, all I do is talk about sex and everyone thinks I'm a huge slut. Whew. I am a dormant whore is what I call myself.
Yeah, because you've admitted that you can be a slut when given the opportunity.
Yes, but I am not one right now, and dying to be. But
hashtag build series, is it? It's hashtag build series.
Hashtag build up my act.
Okay. Now I want to elaborate on that question because you now when you say that in social media, the whole slip into your DMs
yeah,
thing.
they all slide. I'm getting a lot of suitors. People are so sick of me talking about how I don't have a man, and I get it. It's just like I'm risking not ever finding someone because it's so annoying to hear me talk about this that no one wants to be with this. But I'm doing it for the women out there. I see you. It's hard. And I'm trying to navigate it like openly, which is actually like deterring me finding love, I think, but it's worth it. I'm such a martyr. Joan of Arc for single women, but like I am up here. I get a lot of offers. The thing is, doing stand-up comedy as a woman is not attractive to men the way when men do stand-up comedy.
Is that because they know you're going to call them out on their shit, basically?
There might be some of that. I have to explore that some men might not want to date me because they don't want to hear about our sex life on stage, which they will hear.
Right.
That's like, I have to face that, and I just kind of realized that recently. But what I think the root of it is that like I didn't get into comedy for the dick, like per se. I didn't think that like this is going to get me laid. It wasn't the thing that got me into it at all, but it would have been a nice fallout because it seems to be a nice fallout for every man who does it. Like you perform stand-up comedy, you get famous, and you get like hot chicks. Like comedians date like supermodels when they get famous, and these guys are like, don't deserve that, you know? I know them. But the thing is, some of them do. They're all lovely men, lovely broken men, but like it's attractive to watch a man do stand-up and to like tell it like it is. A woman watches that and your cave woman brain is like, he's our tribe leader. Like he will protect me during war times. Like it's hot to watch a guy like tell everyone like it is. And as a woman, you're up there like, my pussy itches or whatever. Like that's not verbatim from, and I actually do think I have that joke, but guys just don't, it's not as attractive to men on this like visceral level of like, our like biology isn't attracted to a woman that's, and I'm going to get shit for this, but they're kind of just like, go knit something. And the harsh winter is approaching. And the tribesmen need
scarves are needed. Yeah, exactly.
So we can bring back mastodon meat for you and the baby I'm about to put in you.
Okay. So
that's all I'm talking about right now. Sorry, is like
good.
How we're all cave people, and like that's pretty much basically it. That's my next special. We're all cave people. Geico.
Okay, I want to touch on the fact that because you said, you know, the truth is your success is deserved, and you don't work in the business that you're in if you're not good. I mean, some people probably do. That's a whole other subject. But I don't think you'd be getting where you are if you weren't great. And one of the places you mentioned was Howard Stern, and one of the reasons that you were booked on Howard Stern is because of the Alec Baldwin roast on Comedy Central, which, by the way, of everyone on that stage, you were the one, you went early, who hit it out of the park. And I want to show people why Howard Stern said she's got to be on my show to read all the jokes.
He may have said I had the set of the night. I don't know.
I believe, let's take a look at that clip. I mean, the subtle look up to Mimi in heaven.
Oh, yeah. I'd give a shout out to like a dead relative every roast set I do. And I didn't realize that until this time around. I think at the Bruce Willis roast, I said, this, like, I can't believe I'm roasting Bruce Willis. This would mean my dead cousin's second favorite action star. I was like, it would mean so much to him. It doesn't to me, but it would to him. But it's true.
Yeah, you also called Jewel Trailer Swift.
Trailer Swift, yeah, that was fantastic.
I had to ask you about this once before, and I want
these are all. By the way, like I get so much help from people write jokes for me, and I pick ones. I write a lot of my own act, but it's just so much work, and you want it to be the best it can be.
Yeah.
So shout out to I have a lot of people. The Trailer Swift joke, Mike Racine wrote that one, and what a brilliant joke that was. I mean, the delivery was most of it. Thank you. No, it was truly the joke. That's the thing. Like I don't have a problem saying that I had writers because everyone does.
Right. It's a thing. It's not. Yeah, and
I curate it. Like I worked really hard to make it what it was. Even watching that clip, I'm like, God, the delivery on that one could have.
Oh, really? Because the timing is great. I thought it was amazing.
But the thing is, no one knows what people kept going up to me after the roast and being like, that was amazing. And I had forgotten to do one joke, which was just like, it was the centerpiece of the act. And I was like, why did I forget it?
You don't have it in prompter? You have to remember.
I did, but somehow it just got like you're copying and pasting.
You're
and
in the
making
moment.
last changes. So what happens is a lot of times you cut a joke. You know when you press Command X and you are about to paste it, but then someone walks in the room and is like, "Hey, do you want anything from the store?" And you go, "Oh no, I'm good." And then you go back to the document, and then it's just gone, and you never paste it.
Yeah.
That's what happened with the best joke in my act. And I'm sitting there after my set, going like, "Oh my god."
Did you
Oh my god!
share that?
And I
moment?
couldn't. It's not a good joke out of context.
Okay,
I have to say.
Well,
it could get me canceled.
Okay,
but in the moment, that's the thing. In the moment, if you want to see it, watch my Howard Stern interview.
Good.
I say it on there because that was a little bit more of a. I'm gonna make a good decision right now and not say it. But thank you to watch Howard Stern.
Right. That's also a good decision.
Yeah.
Now you also roasted in the context of the Bruce Willis roast, Martha Stewart.
Yes.
Was it? I mean, she is intimidating. I'm sorry. Like, you're not, you're fearless, but was there anything you were like, I don't know if I could do this, or I'm worried about?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you hit the nail on the head, dude, because I grew up with her in my house. My mom read her magazine, like she was around, and she's just like, and I thought she would probably be warmer than like I would expect. You know, I was thinking, I wrote all these jokes about her being a cold, hard bitch, and I was like, I bet she's gonna be cool backstage once I meet her. And she like wasn't. So I was like, oh, okay. And there was one joke I wasn't gonna do. And then she was kind of like not that warm backstage. But like also, let me just say, a lot of times celebrities get bad raps because you meet them once and it's like they're in a bad moment.
Right.
So
or she's worried about her set. She actually has to tell a joke. Like, you know.
You know, it just suits my story to be like, she was a bitch. But like she could be lovely and I could have just had they could have been me. I could have been a bitch. Who knows? Yeah. So I want to say that, but so I went out and I did a joke that came from my heart that I wrote that I was originally cut, but I went off prompter and I was like, Martha Stewart's here. Oh my God, my mom learned so much from you about cooking and organizing and withholding affection. And I knew it would hit with her at least because I know that she's like that. Like I could just sense when I saw her, I was like, you're not very warm to your daughter, I bet. And I bet, and this joke's for your daughter. So that's for you, Tracy. I don't know if that's her name.
Now, Bangin is, you obviously saw what it is about from the open, but now you're working on another one already.
I'm deep in the next one. I'm going on tour right now. I'm currently like closing out, like I'm doing some clubs, but then I'm doing my first theater tour because of the success of Bangin. It calls for it. Or more demand. It's very exciting. I've never done theaters before. I've done them here and there, but like never my own tour. So that's it's called the Bangin' Out Tour. Tickets are now available. Come see me. It's like a whole new hour of material. You've never heard any of this. And I'm so excited about it because it's like, I don't know. I just feel free on stage and I feel like I'm saying some things that I'm scared to say and that no one else is saying and that excites me. And there are some things that people are saying. Like I have a bit about like being told that that girls need to gouge guys' eyes out to protect ourselves. Like that's often a defense mechanism. And someone was like, Whitney Cummings did that in her special. And then I watched it, I was like, oh, we're talking about the same thing. But I have a take on it. So I also want to like say that as like people say women talk about the same shit. We're all talking about the same shit, but we all have different takes on it. And so I'm excited to go some places other people have gone and where I've gone before and had the wrong opinion. Like I just did a whole special about how everyone should be orgasming all the time. And now I'm on this train of like, I don't think I'm ever going to let a guy orgasm again. And I know that's crazy, but I read a book and I'm like, oh, wait. And I think women shouldn't be orgasming as much. It's like doing ecstasy. Like this is a weird thing to drop in the middle of this interview. But my point of it is I'm reading a book right now about it and I'm only like 2 chapters in. So I don't have a lot of information, but it's already.
I want to read that whole chapter.
Like every self-help book I do, I'm like, my life is changing. No more orgasms. And then I don't finish it or realize how that works in my life. And then I just go back to coming all the time.
Because earlier when you said all that stuff about men not wanting to date you because of the things you say in comedy, I don't believe that's true, but not ever letting a man orgasm again, I think that might actually be a deal breaker.
No, I think some guys are super into it. Like some guys I think get turned on. I'm like, you're never gonna come again. How do you feel about that? And I can sense, and then I go, I bet some of you are turned on, and then the ones that laugh, I'm like, gotcha. Those are the ones.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think
it's a good litmus test.
And by the way, I don't know what I'm talking about. And I haven't, the only reason I'm not making guys come is because I don't let anyone in. So like that right now, it's like, you can't come if you're not like with a guy in a room. I'm like Mike Pence right now with men. I don't allow myself alone in a room with one. Yeah, I don't, because mother said I shouldn't. My mother, not my wife, who I call mother, like Mike Pence does. But like, yeah.
By the way, your parents are not immune from any of this. They've been on your shows.
Poor
Their
parents.
sex lives have been brought to the forefront. Another reason to follow you on Instagram, because you bring them into things when you visit.
Yes.
But you've basically, they've heard it all, seen it all, and actually been asked everything from you. Am I right?
Yes, they really. I did a lie detector test with them on my show, Not Safe, that you should go watch. It's really hilarious. And it's so funny. I didn't put it in the special, but originally they were at my special taping at the first show of 2, and they had to not be around for the second one because it was so uncomfortable having them there. And I had the first moment of like, this must be hard for them.
Right.
It was the first time I had ever considered it.
Wow.
I mean, which shows such a lack of empathy on my point, but I was just seeing my dad's head just kind of like proud but like horrified at me talking about swallowing semen.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I was just like, I just had a moment. I said to the audience, my parents are here. I have to just acknowledge, like, they're so, like, this is not easy for them. And everyone goes, you just realized that? It was like this moment. But I really had that moment during my special. And so I shout out to Edward and Julie Glaser for letting me be an open book and still loving me.
Right. Another place we can find you. We're about to take some questions from the audience.
I don't know why
but we also want
Edward. His name's EJ. My dad's going to hate that.
EJ. Oh, okay.
He's in a band called Glaze and the Moon Kings. They perform in St. Louis at grocery stores and coffee houses. Look them up, Glaze and the Moon Kings. My dad is a fantastic singer and guitar player, and he does covers, but he wrote one original song about climate change, and you can find it on YouTube.
Wow.
At the channel Edgular, EDGEULAR, and there's also home videos of me as a child on that channel too, because my dad didn't put a block on those yet. But go watch his climate change music video.
See, there's redemption just in that moment right there. We're gonna take a question from the audience. I do want to mention
how climate change isn't real. I'm just kidding. That would be great. That's a twist.
Oh no. That is a twist.
He's a flat earther.
Another place we can spot you, at least your voice, is on Crank Yankers on Comedy Central. So you should be watching. They brought back Crank Yankers, where you prank call people and they use the voices and put you
hate
puppets.
pranking people, and it was so difficult for me to do this.
Bet.
But I did. But that show, I did love that show. Yeah. It's so uncomfortable for me to do. So when I did this, I haven't even watched it yet because it's like when I did it, it was so hard to do. It was one of the hardest things I did, and I did it for my dad because it's my dad's favorite show ever. Favorite
in a
comedy
bubble.
show. That's me. They made
it's cute.
puppet of me.
It's cute. And of course, there's a pixelated.
Oh my God, there's a pixelated penis.
A puppet.
That's so me. But anyway, I did it for my dad, and when I say that, it sounds like he's dead, and he's not. And so he didn't really. But if he were dead, I wouldn't have done it because he's not around to like see it. But like, it always sounds like I'm honoring him in that moment. But he's around. I just wanted him to see it. He was very proud of me.
He will be missed. Okay, so
he will someday.
We have a question from the audience.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Congrats on your recent special.
Thank you.
Anyone familiar with your work knows that's long overdue.
Thanks, man.
Big fan of your stuff and listener of the podcast. I was just curious, what lies on the horizon for you? Like professionally or personally? Like, is there anything you haven't done that you want to?
Thank you for asking that. Yes, because I've been reflecting on my goals and like I was saying the things that I've achieved, like Conan and Howard Stern, like dream things. I met Dave Matthews. That was another one of my dreams. Meeting Jennifer Aniston is still one of my dreams. Hosting SNL and hosting the VMAs. And I hope to do all of those before spring 21.
Nice. I love it. I love it.
That's fun to put out there. And then they come back to this in spring of 21 and people are like, tic-tac.
No, we'll run.
Like you did the red carpet
let's
the VMAs.
Don't turn negative.
I'm just kidding. No,
we're going to run a clip of it in 2021. We're going to look at a clip.
It's going to happen before then. I really actually.
Well, we'll look back on it.
It's going to be 2020. But I will say also, I've got really exciting things that I'm contractually obligated to not speak of in the chamber.
I love it.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, we have time for another one, I think. Hey.
Hello, you came out of nowhere. Oh my God.
What differences have you noticed in audiences when doing a stand-up as compared to a podcast, and which do you prefer?
Ooh.
Okay. Well, there's no audience for a podcast. So it's it can be more rambly. performing for it's a totally different experience. My favorite is when people that listen to my radio show and podcasts come to my live shows because, and especially when I get to meet them afterwards, because I just always feel like they know me in a way that we're like friends, and I try to have boundaries with my fans because sometimes I'm like, sometimes I hug them too long because I'm just like, you've listened, like, thank you for listening. That's so nice. Or people will be like, I watched Bangin like 5 times, and I'm like, why? Like, I just go like, you did that? That's so sweet. And like, I sometimes have to be like, can I touch you when we take pictures? So that's my favorite, is like the cross combo of them.
I love it. Well, I love you in every format.
Thank
And there are
you.
many of them. You can find Nikki Glaser on Instagram
Yes.
and Twitter.
Yes.
And you can find Netflix on Bangin, and you can find You Up on Sirius XM Radio, Comedy Central channel.
95 every morning, Monday through Thursday, 10 to 12 Eastern. But the You Up podcast, that's a best of clip show with extra content, comes out every Friday.
Excellent. Nikki Glaser, thank you so much.
Thank
Let's
you
hear it
so
for
much,
Nikki.
Brian. Thank you.